Hello there YouTube, this is the Rogue Gem player and I come at you with the Memento deck profile. This is one of those decks where we're getting support, every once in a while since its initial release, and the fact that it's gotten a little better. It's also more accessible now with a couple of reprints that have come out over the years, and it's just the fact that this is a really cool deck that if you have access to it, it's really good in terms of playing into stuff. It can play Super Poly and things like that. So let's get on right into it. We are going to start with the main deck, of course. The first card is the Combined Creation. You only ever need one of this card. If you want to play two, you can. I can't really stop you in that, but really, once you have access to this card, you really don't want to play. You don't really want a second copy because you really can't do anything with it because it takes so many resources just to get to this card. But you can do it in your normal combo very easily. In fact, the whole purpose of the deck is to summon it. And we're playing one copy of Trihorn Dragon as one of our search, one-ofs, one of our high levels, and this is just for removal, and it's a free summon when you do have a Memento on board, so that's really good in that regard. And then to start off the main engine, we were playing 3 copies of Tatsuno Shigo, or the freaking Sea Goat, or Sea Cow, or whatever people want to call it. This is the one of their kind of like auto start buttons. If you don't control any monsters or all monsters are mementos, you can summon it, blow it up, and then you get to add send memento monsters to the graveyard with an equal or less level to the monster you destroyed, as long as it was a memento, of course. So it does give you free sends to set up your graveyard. We then play 3 copies of Anduich. This searches out monsters on normal or special. In addition to that, it does allow you to special summon, destroy a memento, and then special summon a monster, a memento from your graveyard. So it does allow you to kind of trade in one monster for another, which I think is pretty important, just because of the fact that this card does give you access to the entire deck in that regard. It does not give you access to spell traps. You do have to search it through other means, so keep that in mind. We then play 3 copies of the Dark Blade. Dark Blade is really good. Same thing. Being able to, first of all, it is spell trap removal if you choose to use it. But in addition to that, you can destroy a memento to special summon 1 level 3 or lower from the deck. So it does float into Anduich, which gives you a search, which continues the chain. So it is there as well. So you always have access to whatever you need. We are then playing 2 copies of Sleepy. Sleepy, if a card has been destroyed, okay, in your possession, you can special discard from hand once per turn during the turn. It is a quick effect, and then you can, on normal or special, fusion summon, okay, a memento fusion from your extra deck. So this can be activated during either player's turn, obviously, because you're going to summon it. You can summon it during your opponent's turn, things like that. In addition to that, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send a memento card from deck to grave. So this does help you set up your plays if you absolutely need to use it. We then play 2 copies of Memento Goblin. Goblin is really in here as, first of all, it's part of a small package where we play some Goblin Biker cards that kind of help get to this. Not to mention that it does allow you to send more Memento cards from your deck to the graveyard, which fuels your graveyard for more plays. In addition to that, if you have the Combined Creation, you can discard it to make your mementos immune to targeting by card effects, so keep that in mind as well. We then play 1 copy of Akihiron, 1 copy of Mace, and 1 copy of Gaddock. Akihiron, if it's normal or special, you can make level 9 or higher mementos attack directly, which is pretty cool if you want to go for game. But if it's destroyed battle or card effect, or destroyed by card effect in this case, you can target one of your other mementos that's banished or in your graveyard, add it back to your hand, which is pretty cool. And then if one of your mementos is destroyed by battle or card effect while it's in your graveyard, you can special summon this. So this is a free summon that can just get you another add, keep the deck going. Mace is there mainly because you can destroy a card memento to add And in addition to that, it does allow you to, if you have the combined creation, to discard it to basically snatch steal a card for a turn, which could help in certain circumstances. And then we play the one Gaddock because it is a resurrection that also can add a Memento card from graveyard to hand, which I think is pretty cool. So, and if you've recognized, these monsters are all like vanillas from the various old days. And then we are playing one copy of Goblin Biker Doug Charger. This is only for the Goblin Biker engine. That's all it is. So we have that. And then we play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and 2 copies of Jorl and Lockbird as our non-engine choice. For spells, we are playing 3 copies of the Fusion spell, Memento Fusion. This is absolutely a broken freaking card. Not only does it allow you to, first of all, it doesn't lock you into Memento fusions. It just requires that you destroy, if a Memento has been destroyed, you can shuffle back material from your graveyard, which is pretty cool. So you can summon really anything, as long as it's a viable target. In addition to that, it does allow you to destroy a card, destroy a monster, and then add a Memento card spell trap from deck to hand. So it does allow you to add another copy of itself if you need it. It does banish itself, which is pretty cool. You can get it back with that carry on. And it is a quick play, so keep that in mind. We're then playing 3 copies of Bone Party. This is really, really cool. You destroy a Memento in your hand or face up, and then you special from the deck with a different name, which is fine because you're using it to get access to your stuff. In addition to that, you can banish this card to make one of your Memento monsters do piercing damage, which if you use it with the combined creation, you're doing a ton of damage, so that is an occasion. We play one of the field spell, which recurs a monster with a lower level than the one that you destroy. In addition to that, it does allow you to, during the end phase, to set a Memento spell trap back from your graveyard, so you can reset the fusion if you need it. And then we are playing 3 copies of Goblin Biker Grand Breakout. All this card does is literally get you access to Memento Goblin, because Memento Goblin is a Goblin monster. So you tribute a monster and you special from the deck. It doesn't matter if it can't attack, because the whole purpose is to get into Goblin, which gives you more cards to play with. In addition to that, we are playing 3 copies of Super Poly. It is pretty much mandatory for a deck like this, where its main engine requirements in the extra deck is only 4 cards. The rest of the deck is kind of open, so you can play a lot of Super Poly targets for rogues, awkward matchups, and things like that, and just in general, because the deck doesn't necessarily lock you into fusions. There are certain cards that you need to play first before you go into it, but once you've established that, you're pretty much fine for the rest of the game. So we do have that. And then we're playing 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence as our only other hand trap. Now for the extra deck. We're going to start with 3 copies of the Creation King. This card is absolutely broken. This is now a 3 of it. I used to play 2 copies of this because you're sending one off of its own effect, which gives you access to the field spell instantly. That's why you only have to play 1 copy. But you need to have access to this card all the time. It gives you so much advantage just being able to send 2 cards to the graveyard, or 3 cards. Just being able to send so much material. It is one of those kind of crazy cards where it does give you occasional removal if you need it. So, and it does require 3 materials, so keep that in mind. We do play 1 copy of the Dragon. It's a combo piece. It's not really, once you've used it, you're not going to really use it again. The purpose is to continue sending more cards to the graveyard, because you're going to blow this up, add more monsters, and then it resurrects a monster, so it continues the combo. And you can do this all with 1 card, by the way. We then play Fusion Guardian Chimera, Mud Dragon, Securion Dragon, Dragostapelia. These are your Super Poly targets. If you want to play different ones, you can. There's a lot of flexible room, as you can see, and when we get to the link stuff, you can kind of make your own assumptions based upon what you need. So keep that in mind. This is really open to interpretation. For the links, we're playing 1 Relinquished Anima, because we do play a couple level 1s, so you can select a monster and do things. 1 IP and 1 SP for like the primary link for some of the link 2s that we play. We do play 1 copy of Cross Sheep. This is a combo piece in this deck because we are fusion summoning and you can resurrect monsters, so this is something you should keep in mind. And because of that, we are playing 1 copy of Selene and 1 copy of Access Code because Ange is in fact a spellcaster, to my understanding. Yes, I have to actually check for a sec. But yeah, Ange is a spellcaster, so it goes into Access Code, which does give you some pops. And then we are playing 1 copy of the BLS Link. This is because we're playing so many of the high levels that if you summon this, you kind of auto win in some cases because it is a card that's immune to stuff when you do so. Not to mention it does allow you to kind of banish a card when you need it. So that is all in that regard. So, but yeah, like I said, Memento is kind of one of those decks where it's very, very fun. And there's like a lot of different ways you can kind of play it. You can play the Goblin Biker stuff. You can play like the rank 3 toolboxy stuff that kind of gives you more things because you want to use the Goblin Biker exceed monsters. We don't do that in this deck. There's not really a reason for it, but it is there if you choose to do so. But let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.